You know, I'm over here questioning my life decisions as I sign up for yet another streaming subscription service that I'm probably gonna use maybe once every other month, if that. And it's got me thinking, with everything being subscription based nowadays, are all these services worth it? Let's discuss this. Alright guys, welcome back to the channel. This is AJ. So the easy answer to my earlier question is, it depends. My main reason for wanting to make this video is to address how the popular subscription-based business model may not be the best for all products and services, like computer software. I'm specifically talking about you, Adobe. Now, the way you'd go about adding software to your computer, you'd either buy a disk or download the program online, install it, comes with a license or a few licenses, and that's that. You paid your money for your product, you installed it on your own machine locally, and that was the end of that. That is most likely going to change for the most going forward. I'm sure that most of you are familiar with unsurprisingly popular programs like Photoshop and Premiere, as they're really solid editing tools. Now, for those of you who aren't on the up and up, back in July of 2013, Adobe Creative Software adopted the software as a service model where its various software were hosted on the cloud and access was granted via a monthly subscription, which I have right here. This, of course, infuriated a lot of their customer base, me included. And it doesn't even stop there. Even Microsoft Office and their entire suite of applications have a monthly or yearly subscription based on whichever plan works for you. Now, some of you might be wondering, what's the big deal? A few reasons come to mind. One, lack of control. Now, when it comes to lack of control, I'm specifically referring to the choice in whether or not you want to upgrade to a newer version of a software or not. For example, let's say a new version comes out and they remove some features that you really liked, or they added something, or they completely changed a workflow, or whatever. They made undesirable changes. You had the choice of staying with your older version until they came out with something that would be more to your liking. The second reason, price. Sometimes some of these subscription services end up being more expensive than buying the program outright. Now, to be fair, pricing really depends. And that's one thing I'll give Adobe. Their Creative Cloud pricing is much more advantageous compared to the price of their previous Creative Suites, which would run you anywhere from $1,300 to about $2,500, which again, not many people have that much capital to spend right out of the gate. If you're a struggling college student, or an amateur creator, I mean, you could pay their subscription, if you get all the apps, is around $52 or $53 a month, which totals to about, a little over $600 a year. So now, of course, over time, you're going to end up spending more money in the long run. And at that pricing, 3-4 years, it's about $1,800 to $2,400, which again really depends. But a perfect example of pricing becoming a little outrageous with their subscription base is Microsoft Office. Now, the last version of Office I bought was Microsoft Office 2007 Student Edition. And I believe that ran me about $70. It was great. It came with 3 licenses. I was able to use it on 3 different machines, and I used that thing for 10 years, at least 10 years. And with their pricing now, it's around $100 for the family edition and around $65-$70 for the personal or business, which, I mean, do you use the applications enough to justify the price? I mean, some might, but not everyone does. So, which is another great thing I appreciated about the previous versions. I just didn't upgrade. I didn't upgrade. Again, I kept the thing for 10 years. But when it comes to software such as this, again, you have two different examples right here. I'm sure there are a lot more that I'm just not going to mention for length of the video. I really do think it really depends. Now, perfect example. When it comes to enterprise applications for health organizations or large companies, it actually does make sense for them to utilize web-based applications. You know, it does save, they do save money on bundles. You know, they do get promotional deals and stuff like that. But when it comes to the average consumer, again, it really depends. Now, for me, my personal experience, when it comes to this, I would much rather at the end of the day own the software I pay for. That way, I have the choice to upgrade or not upgrade depending on the features of the newer version. When you take that choice away, it really does rile a lot of people up, and for decent reason. Again, like I said, when it comes to limiting your choices, it's kind of hard to get behind. So one final point I want to touch upon before I close this out is the question of why can't we use an older version of a software for as long as possible? The problem with that is eventually the company will stop supporting that software, which means it won't receive any of the critical security updates. And people with nefarious intent actually look for these kinds of exploits, and that's something you really don't want to mess with. But with that being said, I'm going to end this here. If you guys like what I'm saying, please feel free to share, like, comment, and subscribe. Difference is, it won't cost you anything. Signing out.